Welcome back, my friends. If you're interested in building Preston Garvey Minuteman as your next commander, but you have no idea where to start, then look no further. Preston is the alternate commander from the Scrappy Survivors Fallout Precon. And with that being said, since he does come in a Precon, this isn't going to be a full deck tech, rather we're going to look at some of the cards that I would recommend cutting from the Precon deck list itself, and then we'll be covering some of the cards that we can add with a new space. Now, first and foremost, Preston Garvey Minuteman is a 4/4 human soldier you can cast for 2, a red, a green, and a white. His ability reads: at the beginning of combat in your turn, create a green aura enchantment token named Settlement attached up to 1 target land you control. It has enchant land and tap the enchanted land to add 1 mana of any color. Also, whenever Preston Garvey Minuteman attacks, untap each enchanted permanent you control. Now, since Preston cares more about enchanted permanents than he does about those that are equipped or artifacts in general, we are going to be doing a lot of cuts from that department, including Fire Shrieker, Bloodforged Battle Axe, Pre-War Formal Wear, Junk Jet, Agility Bobblehead, Perception Bobblehead, Pip-Boy 3000, Masterwork of Ingenuity, Behemoth Sledge, Brass Knuckles, Explorer Scope, and Basilisk Collar. Now, that's not to say that these cards aren't fantastic in their own right, and there actually are a few equipments and artifacts that we are keeping in the deck. It's just these were the easiest ones to cut to make room for different cards. Now, we are going to be cutting about 7 creatures from the Precon, and those creatures include Commander Sophia Jaguar, Crimson Caravaneer, Duchess Wayward Tavern Keep, Veronica the Dissident Scribe, Kate Cage Brawler, Monica Brown Guide Author, and Pure Steel Paladin. Now let's cover some of the cards we want to be adding, starting with our enchantments. First up, we have Hyena Umbra that gives the enchanted creature +1/+1 in first strike and also has totem armor. Urban Utopia will ETB and draw us a card. The enchanted land can tap to add 1 mana of any color. With Snake Umbra, the enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to an opponent we can draw, it also has totem armor. And a Giant Inheritance. The enchanted creature gets +5/+5 and has, whenever this creature attacks, create a monster roll token attached up to 1 target attacking creature. Also, whenever it's put in the graveyard from the battlefield, we can return it to its owner's hand. I like this because it can make one of our creatures huge, it can attach additional auras to creatures on our board, and if it's ever destroyed, it just goes right back to our hand. Now, since Preston is the backbone of our strategy, we have Benevolent Blessing, Timely Ward, and Unquestioned Authority for a little bit of added protection and ways to get around pesky blockers, since his second ability does rely on him attacking. Now, for some creatures we are adding in no particular order, we have Mazzy True Sword Paladin. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks one of your opponents, it gets +2/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. Also, whenever an aura you control is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, exile it. Until the end of your next turn, you may cast that card. Danitha Capuchin Paragon has First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink. She can make all of our auras cost 1 less to cast. Satyr Enchanter is helping us out with some card draw. Whenever we cast an enchantment spell, we can draw. Rayov Master Smith, whenever a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, it gains double strike until end of turn. We also have Danitha New Benalia's Light. She has Vigilance, Trample, and Lifelink, and once during each of your turns, you may cast an aura or equipment spell from your graveyard. A relatively new card from one of the Murders at Karlov Manor Commander Precons, we have a Feather Radiant Arbiter. Whenever we cast a non-creature spell, such as our auras, that target only Feather, we can choose any number of other creatures that spell could target and pay 2 for each of them. If we do, we get a copy of that spell, and the copy targets those creatures. We also have Chishiro the Shattered Blade. Whenever an aura or equipment ETBs under your control, we get a 2/2 red spirit creature token with menace. Also, at the beginning of your end step, we can put a 1/1 counter on each modified creature we control. Whenever Siona, Captain of the Pylea's ETBs, we can look at the top 7 of our library. We can reveal an aura card from among them and put into our hand and put the rest on the bottom in a random order. Also, whenever a aura you control becomes attached to a creature you control, we get a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Helping us out with some enchantment generation, we have Gilwain Casting Director. Whenever he or another non-token creature ETBs under our control, we can choose one. We can give that creature a Royal Roll token, a Sorcerer Roll token, or a Monster Roll token. We also have Timber Paladin. If it is enchanted by exactly 1 aura, it gets base power and toughness 3/3. If it gets 2 auras, it has base power and toughness 5/5, but also gains vigilance. And with 3 or more auras, it has base power and toughness 10/10, vigilance, and trample. Once again, helping with some card draw, we have Tangle Span Lookout. Whenever an aura ETBs under your control, draw a card. And last but not least, we have Yenna Redtooth Regent. We can pay 2 and tap her and choose target enchantment we control that doesn't have the same name as another permanent you control. We create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. If the token is an aura, we can untap Yenna and then scry 2. And there you have it, my friends. This was just a quick guide if you were interested in transforming the Scrappy Survivors Precon to be more focused around Preston Garvey. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.